Or do we have to
Set it up.
confirm?
I think there has to be a confirmation process. I don't think it absolutely has to have council to do that, but it'd have to be in the ordinance that the mayor has the ability to do so. I think there has to be a confirmation process. I think it has.
So we're not, yeah, am I really capable to hire a police officer? I don't know my first thing about it. Try to get educated on it, but I don't have the experience.
And in this labor market, I wouldn't want to tie up an officer for 3 to 4 weeks until we have a meeting to do that. You got to get them, lock them in. So, Mr. O'Leary, how do we
expedite that as fast as we can?
If you want to defer, you got it there?
If you want to defer that, Mayor, we can change the ordinance. We didn't do that a little bit.
It was just the mayor and
We have a
the
chart. City.
That's true, but our process was to have the police chief effectively do the interviews and they would get hired.
And that's what I do.
It's a streamlined process. I mean, does anyone strongly oppose that?
But I do think that there is value in, even if you're not approving it, that if, let's say we brought Gary Gray on as a police officer at the next council meeting, part of her report would be, just so that you know, Officer Gary Gray is joining us. He's going to be working X number of hours. You know, if you see him, introduce yourself so that he knows who you are. I mean, I think it's good for you to know that so that it's not in the dark kind of stuff.
We can turn them on.
After their probationary period.
Do you want the other link?
That's 6 months.
That's not right.
It would be minimum 6 months. That's probationary period, minimum 6 months.
Great. We're done with the topic. I just sent you the YouTube. All right, next is the income tax credit issue.
So when I was here in 2018, the council voted to eliminate the income tax credit for income tax paid to other municipalities. Unfortunately, I mean, the information was sent to CCA at the time. However, CCA did not eliminate the credit. And I also checked additional records after that time, and they did not eliminate the credit. So the village residents may owe a significant amount for the period. So I have to send a letter to CCA, Rita, and the tax commissioner indicating the issue, and I'm going to ask them if there is a solution or an approach to I guess, rectify the situation. But that is where I'm at with that. So I'm going to send out those letters soon, and then I'll await feedback from those agencies.
How many years are we talking about, too?
From 2018.
Okay,
So the ordinance was passed April 17, 2018. So some period after that, it was covered.
So previously there was.
Prior to that, there was an income tax credit. So if you paid, like, for instance, like $100 to Eastlake, there would be a credit from Timberlake for a 0.50%, or like basically half of that.
Yeah,
So that was, you're right, that was eliminated 4 years ago, but it was never implemented by the tax agency.
So there is no, is it 0.5?
It is still on the books as a credit, but it shouldn't be there. according to the ordinance. So no one followed up on that, unfortunately, after that date.
So who, with those tax collections? Will they just get notified or do they?
No, the information was sent. I know this because I was still there at the time, but I left on April 30th, 2018. And unfortunately, my predecessors or I guess successors didn't follow up on it.
I mean, I feel like it's.
I don't know.
Very responsible.
Yeah, I kind of like it. You know, this property was thing.
Some cities don't have it. Lakeline, for instance.
There is.
Busted about those RVs.
We had to add it.
Is the dumpster different than a storage pad?
We don't even charge for people.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Hard.
So I think both of them should go hand in hand. Yeah. So maybe we need
Begin that then.
Everything is right now.
Thank you. Everyone turn your mics on. Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
On roll.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the prayer. Grant us, O Lord, light in our understanding, prudence in our investigating, foresight and understanding. Sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decision, neither by fear nor by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for thou art the source of all authority, and may we use it in our directives for the common good, for thy honor and glory. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, call to order. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Present.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Present.
Mrs. Mara.
Here.
Mr. Thompson.
Here.
Mr. Conrad.
Present.
Thank you. Okay, first order of legislation. First, I want to welcome, we have Commissioner John Pleshnik with us. I want to welcome him also. And then also we have our new candidate, Jerry Joyce, who I'm going to recommend here for the new for our open council seat.
Yay.
So welcome. Okay, first order of business and legislation would be resolution 2022-29. This will be a resolution appointing Jerry Joyce as council member effective July 12th, 2022 for the village of Timberlake, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. So do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
I make a motion to suspend the rules.
Dr. Sharma makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second that motion.
Brian Conrad seconds. Roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. Conrad.
Aye.
Thank you. And do I have a motion for resolution 2022-29, a resolution appointing Jerry Joyce as council member effective July 2022 for the village of Timberlake, Ohio, and declare an emergency?
I make a motion.
I
Mrs.
second
Mara
it.
makes a motion. Dr. Sharma seconds. Any discussion?
Just as a reminder that the way this works is council has 30 days. We're well past the 30 days, and that's where the mayor gets the opportunity to appoint. And so I know that he's done the interview process. Typically, we would bring candidates in, go into executive session and do that. But this is now the mayor's selection. And so just so that you know, that's how we got to this point.
It's been almost 90 days, hasn't it?
It's been, it seems like at least 90 days.
Any other discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad.
Aye.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Sworn in, please.
Where are you going to do the swearing? You do it in front? Yeah, do it in front. Isn't,
I have one hand for saying Mayor.
Is John going to do it, Commissioner, with the mayor? Or the mayor, you're going to do it with the,
you could hold the,
I know our eagle, we need a.
Didn't print it out. Print it out in a second.
Wait for the oath to be printed.
That's interesting.
yeah.
How'd you get the wife to say yes, Mr. Joyce? The wife, why did you do that?
Definitely photos. Take lots.
Okay. Just have to print it up here. I can do those next week.
Here you go.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
There's not a lot.
Yeah, usually he was the last time we did it, he read it, then he held the Bible. Yes, Cindy, you were sworn in by Mr. Fletcher, were you?
I don't think I was
You were, that's,
that big
that's
of a
it,
deal
Kevin.
to swear me in.
Cindy, who swore you in?
I only got the mayor.
Yeah, I just had the mayor.
The mayor's all about.
Only the mayor isn't Madam President, right? Is that what we're saying tonight?
Madam President, yes.
Wow.
The only one above the mayor is the first lady.
Oh, yeah, sure. In my house, when Daddy's happy, the whole house is happy. When Daddy's not happy, I tell her to leave.
There you go.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Gerard Joyce, do solemnly swear and affirm that I shall support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and the ordinances and resolutions of the village of Timberlake, Ohio, and I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of the office of council of the village of Timberlake, Lake County, Ohio. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. Councilman. Now we need to, get these things.
I think it has the wrong date on it.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, mine is. No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I prefer it in blue. Tell the difference between an original and a copy.
Here and also the county commissioners want to recognize you on the appointment today. All three of us and on behalf of the county. Congratulations.
Can you show that to us so we can put it on camera?
Absolutely.
There we go. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And the mayor. There you go. Beautiful. 1, 2, and 3. Got it. Thanks, guys.
Big day. The mayor's told me many great things about you, so we're looking forward to seeing you.
And search a prayer.
I know you will. Just keep praying.
Right next to Dr. Sharma. That is yours. Huh?
Thank you.
Right there.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for stuff. Thanks. Yes.
I know they have.
Doctor, say hello.
Hi.
Very well. It's always a pleasure when I get to visit Timberlake on the road. You have a really beautiful.
Hi. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
You hired my favorite law director / solicitor.
Be in church. Where's the dog? Oh, thank you.
About being president.
About being Madam President.
I told him that's what we always call it.
Oh, yeah. That is the
Man-
formal address.
Madam.
It's
Chairwoman.
Mr. President to
Oh,
a
gosh.
male and Madam President to a female in the office.
Right.
Which one?
President of council.
Are you president?
Madam President too.
Okay.
You can tell that I actually was an altar server.
Yeah.
Still got it.
I can't get it yet.
Oh, my.
The genuflect
I can
is,
get down, I just can't get back up.
yes.
Like the stairs on the beach. You get down, it's just hard to get back up.
Yeah, zip line idea was a good one, but better cop.
Yeah.
Okay.
They give me bad news today.
Yeah. how long have you been in the village?
2 years.
2 years.
But it's not. Yeah, so I'm gonna.
And Kevin, how long?
2 years. I'm
3.
gonna owe a
Us
half
going on
percent.
5.
I'm gonna owe a percent.
Cindy, you're 5, right? In the village, 4.
I came in 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 5.
Yeah, so
You can only have one hand.
we say, all right, we're not gonna go back.
See, it 4. About-
One for him, one for our records.
Okay. We're all done.
And to Mr. Ross.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, next on the agenda is resolution 2022-30. Resolution directing Lake County Board of Elections to place the 4.2 mil 5-year renewal levy for the police department, service department, and general fund current expenditures within the village on the November 8th, 2022 general election ballot and declaring an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
I make a motion?
Samara makes a motion. Second. Joyce seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Yes.
Dr. Sharma, Mrs. Hardwick,
Yes.
Mrs. Mara.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad.
All right.
Thank you. By motion for resolution 2022-30, please.
Make a motion?
Samara makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Dr. Sharma seconds. John, please, or I mean, Mr. O'Leary, please explain. this.
Yeah, again, as we did at the last meeting, when we had gone through the several step process to put the levy back on the ballot, or on the ballot, there was an error in that initial, the purpose was misstated from the previous levy, and so they were treating it as a new levy, not as a renewal. And so we had to go back and change that language. We did that. We asked for the auditor to provide us with the proper information as to what we would be able to collect. That's been done. Now, in due course, we now have the language to go on the ballot, has to be approved again. And so that's why we have this for tonight.
Questions?
So this is what will be on the ballot or some summary of this.
Correct. The language will be similar, but it's up to the Board of Elections as to the exact
Sorry.
language. And then
Or
we
against the
sign
levy,
off.
that part of it.
Perfect.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Dr. Sharma,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Mr. Conrad.
Aye.
Next is ordinance 10/2022. This is an ordinance amending section chapter 820 peddlers and transient dealers of the village of Timberlake, Ohio code and adopting model do not knock legislation from NOPEC.
I'd leave this on first reading unless you feel strongly about it.
The only thing was that NOPEC, when they come out here for our village anniversary, they were going to set up a booth and then have people register for the no knock no knock policy, I guess. Then again, I don't know, what is that, what would that benefit, I guess, then?
Well, it just keeps them from being harassed by folks, and it gives our police department the ability to have a list of who can and cannot. So,
We did it in the past. We had that because I remember I signed up for that and still it wasn't really enforced.
So is
did we,
that through NOPEC or through council that?
well, that, they're just offering the,
Yeah, that's just for like gas and oil companies can't come solicit their lower rate for natural gas, right?
Their model legislation's actually a little bit more extensive than that. But that's why I provided a couple drafts for, I guess, for discussion purposes.
Yeah, but this one's about no.
There is, yeah, this is,
Right.
it's more extensive. It covers a lot more than
Your
that.
advisement is to keep it on first reading, Mr. Larry?
I would keep these on first reading just so that we can have the opportunity to review them, let the public know, and that'll give them the opportunity to come if they don't like it or if they want to change something, they might make a recommendation.
This was a special meeting tonight, so a lot
Yeah.
of people didn't think it was a live meeting.
Correct.
And
Maybe
if
the-
someone could get clarification of what the NOPEC portion of it is, right? Because that's some one specific entity. If we already have an ordinance in place that applies to NOPEC too as well, right? Or they have some exemptions?
No, they just set a model that we can use.
Okay.
It's still a general model, not just for them, it's for
Okay.
all peddlers. But the thing is that, they said, we already have one in place, but it is dated. We looked at it last year, council looked at it last year, but we never completed it.
Okay.
We never changed it. So we need to review it, and we do need to update our policy no matter what, regardless, because it is very dated. But again, unless we see a rush, it really is no rush, I guess, because again, if they sign up for this no knock, I mean, what would be the benefit? I mean, they'll probably just put a little sign in front of their windows.
Has anybody signed up now?
No,
Have you
not.
have you had anything at the police?
And no complaints.
Yeah, so I
That
mean, we
makes-
don't have an issue. I mean,
Yeah.
last year we did have a couple peddlers going around.
I've had a couple roof people stop by.
Do you find them offensive?
No, and this is for peddlers and solicitors, not political candidates, right? Just making sure,
As long as you're not selling anything
right?
besides promise.
Oh, I just say leave it on the first reading.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, thanks for the clarification. I was just confused about the two difference. They just gave a model for cities. or
But thank you for
villages.
providing that to us. I think it's helpful to have something to work from.
Welcome.
All right, then, nothing else on that. Do I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Are we gonna go into special?
There is one other thing we need to talk about. You and I talked about it briefly before the meeting, and that is one of the things we kind of missed since this is our last meeting before the big 75th anniversary is there's no suggestion that we do a proclamation of some sort. And if it's council's desire to have a proclamation made up for the 75th anniversary, I'm more than willing to provide that. But I'd like to take it up as council approving it so that when you sign it before the August 7th date, which is before our next meeting, you already know that that's coming.
You're making a proclamation.
I
declaration.
suggested that if you're going to make a proclamation, 75 years would be a good time to do it if you're going to have a big shindig. So why not do that, have all council sign it? It can stay in posterity here someplace, and but that's up to you. We don't have to do
Or the
it.
other villages, other towns do this, correct?
Other villages do proclamations for almost anything, so it doesn't really matter. I'm
Somebody
just-
think it's pretty big.
I'm just suggesting that if you're going to, I mean, look at the commissioners. They do probably 2 or 3 proclamations every meeting, which is every Thursday, that it's
Oh, yeah.
Cancer Awareness Month, it's whatever month. And so I just think if the folks here are energized by this, you've got the club that's really gone out of their way. If you'd like, I'll draft something up, send it out to everybody, and if you want to sign it, we'll present it to the club on the 75th anniversary, or whoever you want to present it to. That's.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's something historic, it's on our files, for our archives, to going to Timberlake Times.
We put it in a frame too, and put it up on the wall.
Right,
So nice.
Can I ask, 75th anniversary of Timberlake?
Yeah,
Wow.
1947 to now.
Do we
Thank
need,
God, still older than I am.
do we need a motion to?
No.
Yes,
I
Okay,
just wanted your.
you just want
approval to
opinion,
do it.
okay.
I remember we're all in the parade. The Timberlake.
And so if you have
Sounds
tidbits about Timberlake that you'd like me to include in the proclamation, if you would send those to me, that would be helpful. Okay? Thanks. That's the last thing. Sorry.
It's okay.
The Village Club is working
Thank you.
very hard to make it a nice presentation. a nice
Remind him that he made a
celebration.
meeting run over one time by Mr. O'Leary.
Okay. So do I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
Roll call.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Dr. Sharma, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson,
Aye.
and Mr. Conrad.